On last week's episode, we repaired this dent for paint. We used some glue tabs, a hammer and dolly, the G90E, and then we filled it, blocked it, and got it into primer. Today, I'll share with you how to properly prep and paint this repair. I'll give you all the tips and tricks you need to know, step-by-step instruction, so you can do this repair on your own. The first thing we want to do is make sure this repair is nice and straight. We've put 2 coats of 2K urethane primer on it, and even though we've taken a lot of time making sure the bodywork was straight and done properly, we want to check it before we start prepping out for paint. We sprayed some guide coat over this repair area to show us any high or low areas as we're blocking. I'm going to use my long block and some 320 grit sandpaper. Now you want to hold your block flat against the panel and block it in an X or crosshatch pattern. I like to block my primer with a 320 grit sandpaper. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but I know that the only scratch in that primer is going to be a 320 grit. And I finish all my body filler with 320 as well. Now you could use a more aggressive sandpaper like a 220 or a 180. I would not really recommend going anything more aggressive than a 220 grit scratch, because remember, you have to remove those coarse scratches in order to get down to a 600 grit scratch before we paint. This door has a body line that we need to protect, so we're going to use a piece of tape and we're going to run down the body line on the peak, and then we're going to block down to that tape, and then we'll flip that tape over and put it on the other side of the peak, and we'll block up to it. This will keep that body line nice, crisp, and sharp and looking like factory. It's important to use a block that fits the contours of the panel. This door panel has several different contours in it, so in this case I'm going to use a long block that has a flex to it so I can lay it flat against the panel and block that panel straight. If you want to check out some of the different types of blocks I use, check out my storefront down in the description. There you can find those blocks and any tools and materials that I use on these repairs. Right here you can see how that guide coat is working. You see where there's a couple little low areas where that guide coat remains in those low areas. So that gives us an idea of how far we need to block down to those. Now we're not trying to block that guide coat out of that low area. We're trying to block it flat and down to it. Once we get down to it, then we know that panel is straight. Now if we break through into bare metal or body filler, then we need to either put some more primer on it, or we may need to knock down a high area in the metal. Okay, so I want to give you an idea of what's happening here. I've been blocking on this door, and what I've noticed is everything feels pretty good. There's a little bit of a wonky area here, a wave that I think will block out pretty well. This feels good, blocked out straight. This is good here. There is right here, there's a little low spot, and it's about that size right there. Okay, now that is a little bit low to be blocked out. So what I'm going to have to do, what I'm trying to do is block down this front edge, okay? So I'm going to hold the block flat and block that down a little bit, and hopefully I can get that a little bit straighter. So when I apply the filler in this low area, it's going to gradually transition in there. There is also a little low area here. I'm going to continue blocking right here and see if we can flatten that out before we put a little bit of glaze in there. So I'm going to block this in an X pattern and let it glide through the contours of this. I've got this tilted on the edge. So I'm going to allow it to glide through the contours. So it's blocking down this high area and then this high area and gradually blocking straight. I'm going to cross it, and this seems to be working out pretty well. If you want to be able to get a larger dent straight as possible, you need to develop a feel for the panel. And you do this by holding your hand flat on the panel and then running it quickly across it. You can feel any waves or imperfections, so you'll feel any high or lows as your hand goes across the panel. Develop that skill. That's going to help you quite a bit in getting a panel straight. Guide coat is just that. It's a guide. Even though your guide coat blocks out smoothly and all the guide coat is gone, that does not mean that panel is straight. You need to develop a feel for that so you can check it yourself. Now, as you can see here, I went through into the filler. I'm not that concerned about that because that could be just a little bit of a high area that I'm blocking down. I can block that filler down with my 320 grit sandpaper. If it was bare metal, that's a bigger concern. That's something you need to address. You have to tap that metal down, put some more filler on it, or glaze, or prime it. Now I went ahead and I flipped my tape over, and we're going to block the bottom half of this door, blocking up to the tape, making sure that our block is laying flat against the contours of the panel. Okay, this is feeling really good now. It blocked out nicely. There's a little bit of a low area here, but one more coat of primer is going to take care of that. Yeah, one coat, block that out with some 320, and then 600 grit this primered area, and we'll be ready to prep out the rest of the vehicle for paint. Now we're going to spray one coat of 2K urethane primer so we can block out that low area. Then we need to remove as much trim as possible. So if you're doing your repair at home, it's always best to remove the door handles, the mirrors, the weather belts. Anything you can possibly remove is going to give you a better quality job. It's less areas for that clear coat to peel. Now we need to prepare 2 panels for blending. We're going to blend the color into the front door, and we're going to blend into the rear quarter panel. So we need to prepare these areas. So how are we going to prepare these for the blend? We're going to use 600 grit sandpaper on my orbital sander, and I am using my interface pad, which is a soft pad that allows it to go over those contours and body lines without digging in. Why do we use 600 to prep out these panels? I like to use it because it's a coarse enough scratch to allow good adhesion of that clear coat, but it's also fine enough so it doesn't allow any of those scratches to show through the clear. I'm sanding all the large areas with the orbital sander, but around the edges and the body lines, I'm going to do all those by hand so we don't burn through the paint and have to put color on those areas. Our primer is now dry, so we're going to go ahead and sand it with the orbital sander and some 600 grit sandpaper. We'll block out that little low area that we discussed with a small flexible block so we can get in those contours and get this panel straight. Then we'll do a quick block over the rest of the panel with some 600 grit sandpaper. Now this repair is ready for some paint. So I'm going to spray some wax and grease remover on it, just wet it down so we can take a good look at this repair and see how straight it actually is. This imitates clear coat, and you can see if there's any wonky or funky areas that need to be addressed, but everything looks good. So let's wash it down and start masking it off. It's paint time. So we're going to put our first coat of base over this repair area, just covering the primer with a good medium coat. We don't want to put it on super wet. We want to just get it covered with a nice base, and then we'll put a second and a third coat over it. Now, you could put a sealer over this repair. That's going to eliminate and fill in any minor scratches. It's also going to help with your paint coverage. The gun I'm using today is the 3M Performance gun. This is a great gun for DIYers. If you haven't checked out the review and demo on it, check it out. I'll leave a link at the end. So now it's time for the second coat. We let the base flash for 10 minutes so it's nice and cure. And now we're going to put our second coat on. We're going to do nice even passes, consistent speed, consistent distance from the panel. Now my gun settings, I have my air pressure set pretty low at around 20 psi. My fan is set nearly wide open, about a quarter turn back from wide open. And my volume is set at 2 turns out from closed. Now that I've got my primer mostly covered, I'm going to start blending into the door. I'm doing the first 6 inches of that front door. I want to get enough paint on that right now so I know that that's going to be a good transition from the 2 doors. You always want to inspect everything before you put your clear coat on. We're looking for coverage and making sure there's no imperfections that we might have missed. Now I'm going to do my final blend into that front door where I'm kind of crossing the pattern and getting that metallics. It's not really metallic, it's more of a pearl to lay down on this door in a consistent manner. Time for clear coat. So let's start out with the middle door. This is the repair door that we did, and this is where most of the paint is. We have the blending panels, and then we have the door that we repaired and put most of the paint on. Now, this is worth mentioning. I don't think I've ever mentioned it, and it's something that I don't always do, but it's a good idea to get a good coat of clear on the painted or repaired area first. Let that flash, and then clear coat the entire side. The reason for that is clear coat is going to lay differently on a surface that has paint on it rather than one that's been prepped out just for clear coat. This is not something you want to be too concerned about. I just want to mention it. I think it's worth mentioning that it might be a good idea to do that, especially if you're just starting out, because your paint is probably not going to be as smooth as someone who's been doing it for years. And what can happen is if you're putting clear coat over that painted surface and you're watching your clear coat lay out flat, and then you're hitting it you're hitting it heavy enough so you can have a good flow of the clear coat, and then you get into a surface that's just prepped for clear and it's smoother and you may run it. But like I said, it's not something to be overly concerned about. Just keep it in mind. Okay, so the settings for this 3M Performance gun. I have my fan pattern nearly wide open, about a quarter of a turn back. I have my volume 1.5 turns out. I've been dialing my volume back a little bit on the last few jobs, and the reason for that is I want thinner coats of clear, and that's been working out really well, giving me a really nice finish. So the air pressure on this is 24 psi. That's what I spray with this gun, and it works out perfectly. Okay, we're putting the second coat of clear on this job. Typically, you only need 2 coats of clear. Now, I did put a 3rd coat of clear on this job, and the reason for that is my air hose started leaking air in the middle of this job, and I had a couple contaminants come out into the clear. I did address those, and I made a video on how to repair those. It was a little bit of, created a little fisheye, a couple fisheyes. So if you haven't checked out that video, check it out. I'll leave a link at the end. Let me give you some techniques for spraying clear. You want to overlap 70%. You want to be 4 to 5 inches away from the panel. You want to have a consistent speed and a consistent distance from the panel at all times. Watch how I make my passes. I'm overlapping. The distance is consistent through the entire pass. Listen, if you found this video helpful and want to support the channel, check out how down in the description below. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok for upcoming projects and content. If you're new to the channel, leave me a howdy down in the comments below. Share questions and photos of your project at garagenoise247@gmail.com. Let's check out this finished product. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. And if you want to learn more about paint and body repair, check out one of the videos here at the end. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. We'll see you next time on Garage Noise.